if I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's a pretty... I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Well, I think I saved a lot of lives with...
Y'all, when I tell you the way I cackled. Come on in here. Come on in here. Listen, Syphilitic Sid is over here saying that he's not doing well. He's at the bottom of the totem pole. Now, his not doing well is not our not doing well. If you know what I'm saying.
It appears President Trump is about to kick the bucket. I'm talking about one final permanent beep from his heart rate monitor as hell.
First of all, disclaimer, I had to do this episode, but I think I should play it because there's definitely something that is happening and Trump himself looks like he's really admitting to it. But I know it is bad, but has it really come to this point where people are literally anticipating and are giving him days? And some people are saying he will kick the bucket soon. I'm like, when did people come to like... We have a lot of clips in here of people that are anticipating, those that are saying, even experts that are actually saying, you know, the situation is actually not as good as the media is trying to cover it up. For even his press secretary to come out and say something, it was after the pressure that was put on them from the independent medias, because, you know, they wouldn't let anybody know about some of the conditions that Trump has. But anywho, welcome back to the channel, my people. I do hope that from wherever you are watching this from, you are doing all right, and hopefully God has protected you and preserved you very well. Thank you to all of you that support me on here. Big shout out to my members. You guys do me amazing. We do have a segment in the house to look at. Yeah, we have quite reactions in here of people that are asking, did it happen? Because there are people that predicted that this man is going, and of course some of his past statements that he's admitted something is wrong. So I think we have to look at some of this, come back and talk about it. Do me a favor, like the video, share it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll be back.
If I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's a pretty... I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Well, I think I saved a lot of lives with India, Pakistan. They were going at it. The planes were big.
So he's joking about how ending the war in Ukraine might help him get into heaven. So many so many things to say. First of all, bro, you said you were gonna end the war on day one. 6 months later, over 6 months later, it ain't happened. Number two, bro, you're not getting into heaven no matter what. Someone tell this man that he doesn't have to worry. Lucifer is gonna welcome him at the gates of his forever home, hopefully soon.
The World Cup was here the other day, and come to think of it, there's your trophy for the World Cup. In fact, it's solid gold. That's actually solid gold, so heavy that some of the people in this room wouldn't.
On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified. Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy. And the president remains in excellent health, which I think all of you witness on a daily basis.
The president's congestive heart failure is getting worse. I'm a home health physical therapist with a doctorate in my field. I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. The reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some fun reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly, I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. The kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker, and we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such a fucking idiot. I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So the president has congestive heart failure and or chronic kidney disease, I'm pretty sure. I'm a physical therapist and I work in home health. I work with congestive heart failure and chronic kidney disease patients on a daily basis and have done so for the last 14 years. I made a video previously explaining why I thought he did based on the symptoms I was spotting at the time, particularly the nature of the swelling in his legs. But then I remembered I'd forgotten an obvious one: periorbital edema, or swelling around the eyes. My wife is a massive fan of Sherlock Holmes, and she has all of the Jeremy Brett versions of Sherlock Holmes from Grenada Television in the UK from years ago, all on DVD. Jeremy Brett was a brilliant British actor who actually ended up passing away from congestive heart failure. As his disease progressed, he put on weight in general, and he developed periorbital swelling. So when you look at Trump nowadays, it's not simply that he's getting old and his skin is sagging, it's that his eyeballs are floating from all that fluid his body is not supposed to be carrying. And I've seen several videos recently from ICU and ER nurses that suspect that he's actually on IV Lasix. We all know his diet is terrible, so we just need him to keep that up. I can tell you from firsthand experience with congestive heart failure and chronic kidney disease patients, the thing that puts them at the most risk of hospitalization or a fatal event is non-compliance with their medication or their diet. We know he's not compliant with his diet, but he can get away with that because he has access to the best healthcare the world can provide, including IV treatments whenever he needs them. Nobody is going to tell this president what he should or should not be eating, and that's fine. We're okay with that. Many of you were asking before, well, how long does he have? And the truth is, it could be a couple of months if he doesn't behave, which he won't. Awesome. And before any of you MAGA smooth brains jump in the comments, it was completely wrong of the federal government to hide how bad Joe Biden was actually doing. I don't care who it is in office, you need to be healthy. And if you're not, those things need to be disclosed to the American people. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Y'all, when I tell you the way I cackled, come on in here, come on in here. Listen, Syphilitic Sid is over here saying that he's not doing well. He's at the bottom of the totem pole. Now, his not doing well is not our not doing well. If you know what I'm saying. Anywho, he did an interview, and this Mickey Fix said the reason why he's doing all the things he's doing, like, for example, trying to broker a peace deal, like we really believe he's trying to broker a peace deal, and trying to end these conflicts around the world. You never gonna believe what that motherfucker said. He's trying to get into heaven. He said he is trying to get into heaven, y'all. Now, I don't know which heaven he think he's trying to get into, but it can't be the one with the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, it cannot be the one with the Lord Jesus Christ, because how is you gonna get to the pearly gates and tell Jesus that you separated children from their families, kill people's health care, 1.4 million about to lose Medicaid right now in the state of Florida. You took away health care from children who had cancer. You deported them. Then you canceled cancer research. Mima and Papa gonna have to leave the nursing home because They ain't gonna have no Medicaid to cover that. But yes, yo oversized, cankled ass talking about you trying to get in heaven. The only thing I can say is that I guess, because like when are on death row and the preacher go and say, if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, all your sins are forgiven. I guess that's what he's counting on. But I tell you what, I'm not sure if I'm going, but on the off chance that I go and he's up there, it's on site. It's on site. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be like, you got to go. And I'm going to be like, I'm okay with that, but let me whoop his ass first. I'm just saying. And anybody else who want to line up behind me, we all finna get our lick in if he make it up there. Anyway, I'm going to go find something for dinner. Y'all have a good night.
So the other day, Donald Trump was walking around the White House, and he went to the White House gift shop. And then he came back to give a press conference for FIFA. And this is how he looked. And by any account, you would say that this does not look very great or put together. He sort of looks like he just came off of a drunken tirade 24-hour bender. But I'm going to play you a video that I came across from a professional. He is a licensed professional. This is not my opinion. I am just playing the video. You're going to see his TikTok handle name in the video. You can go look at his video, but let's watch what he has to say about Donald Trump.
The president's congestive heart failure is getting worse. I'm a home.
Now, as I said, I am not a professional. I am not a doctor. I am not giving any diagnosis. That gentleman, who is a professional, is. Tell me what you think.
Donald Trump seems to be concerned about his own mortality. President Trump dialed into Fox and Friends earlier today, Tuesday, August 19th, on Tuesday morning, and revealed his newest and truest motivation for brokering an end to the war in Ukraine. This is from the New York Times. He's worried he might not get into heaven after he dies. He's got like a 65-year track record that's going to keep him out of heaven, guys. Said Trump, I want to try to get into heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I am really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get into heaven, this will be one of the reasons. The article continued. This would have been a highly unusual admission from any president, but it seemed especially out of character coming from this one. He knows he's dying. He knows he's dying. He can see his cankles. And he knows what his cankles mean. He knows he's dying.
Did it happen? It's Sunday, August 24th at 11:13. Don't judge me, I slept in. But still, it's past 9 a.m. Did it happen? Someone confirm. Right the frick now. Did it happen? Did it?
Where that girl that said the president was going to be going by 9 o'clock this morning? It's 12:52. Did she mean like LA time? Like what?
The reason why Donald Trump went on Fox News and told everyone that he wants to end the war in Ukraine and because he wants to go to heaven is because he knows he's dying. I am under the firm belief that Donald Trump is well aware of the fact that he probably does not have much longer left. A lot of people have been diagnosing him. I've seen, of course, and I've seen a lot of like certified doctors and things like that, of course. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I do have seen like, those like very, very believable psychics and things like that that have spoken up and acknowledged that like, yeah, it's not looking good for him. Because remember, if you don't remember, they said he had like chronic venous insufficiency. But a lot of people were saying, looking at the size of his fat ass cankles, he probably has congestive heart failure. And if that's the case, obviously if you have congestive heart failure, from what I remember, from what I know about it, there is like no cure. It's not like something, it will eventually kill you. So obviously, given the fact that he's an older guy, he's very, 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 very overweight, very unfit, just an evil, because evil will eventually kill your spirit and your soul. Yeah, he probably don't got much longer left. And like I said, I think that's the reason why, because I think too, he's shown like plenty of signs of just not being all the way there mentally and cognitively. So I think too that like his, he probably does have his advisors kind of saying, do this, do that, do this, do that. Because yes, Donald Trump is an evil, terrible man who wants to be a dictator. But I think too, in the same way, there is a kind of push from other people as well, if that makes sense. And I also think this is part of the reason why Elon Musk is taking so many vacations, because he knows he's going to be like taking Trump's place soon. He knows. And like I said, so I want people to really like not like lock in and understand that it doesn't end when Trump dies, because it's probably not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But it doesn't end when Trump is gone. You still got to get rid of JD. You still got to, honestly, you got to get rid of the whole system, because the Democrats are being pussy, and the Republicans are literally being truly the devil's reincarnated. So yeah, you got to get rid of the whole system at this point, except for Jasmine and Nicole Collier. Either way, like I said, I think this is going to be, his death especially will be a turning point, because a lot of MAGA people also do not like JD Vance himself, and a lot of them are turning tables on the entire Republican Party within itself. So ultimately, I think this will work out in our favor, and America's 250-year anniversary is next year. And historically speaking, empires usually only last roughly about 250 years. So I like to think, and I like to have hope, that this change will be for the better.
Trump is going to die on the 3rd of September at 10 a.m. Could be 10 p.m. Somewhere around that time. My premonitions are never wrong. And he is going to die of a heart attack. Now, I've just woke up and my premonitions always come in my dreams. And I wanted to put it here so that you heard it here first. Now, it could be 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. my time, your time, I don't know. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I have had quite a few premonitions that have came true. And when I was in school, the kids used to call me Mystic Meg.
So the president has congestive heart failure and chronic kidney disease, and he's getting sicker. Next domino to fall will be if his kidneys actually fail and require hemodialysis. There are 4 main options for placement for a dialysis port. If a port is ever placed in one of his arms, he will not be able to play golf because he'll have to wear short sleeve shirts, and you will be able to see the fistula. Now, he could stop playing golf because he's just too sick to do so and doesn't have the energy to do it anymore. By the way, I don't think we've ever seen footage of Donald Trump walking or riding on the cart for 18 holes. I know he shows up on the first tee and, hits a few shots or whatever. I'm still skeptical that he even plays 18 holes at all right now. If his kidneys completely fail, he's going to need dialysis, and it is possible to live and have a mostly functional life with congestive heart failure that's managed and end-stage renal disease that requires hemodialysis 3 times a week. But he's not going to have the same schedule or energy that he had before. I've seen people ask if he would actually receive a transplant if one of his major organs does fail. That would be way more likely for someone much younger. But like many of you, I've seen House of Cards. There's got to be a Doug Stamper somewhere in the Trump White House that can get Trump at the top of the transplant list. Also, a side note for this entire situation, the people who are in elected office are entirely too old on average. There is absolutely no reason we should be watching an 80-year-old man decay on national television every day, and also completely watch his mind slip as he answers questions that aren't asked and pretends that he could play professional soccer. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So he says he got peace between Azerbaijan and Albania, but in reality it's Azerbaijan and Armenia. Like, he doesn't care about the specifics. He just wants to get out there. I got peace. I can get to heaven now, right? Add it to the good tally, right? Did I do it? Like, that's what he's trying to do here. I don't know, man. I think there might be something to this, that he's got some health struggles.
I mean, he definitely has some health struggles. I am not convinced. I just feel like we're going to be cursed with this man forever. That's what I really feel like. I just feel like he's going to, it seems like the villainous people are the ones just that live for fucking ever.
His
And
dad lived
I
forever.
did.
My dad had a girl.
Yep, Trump might no longer be breathing anymore, and this is our final warning that our country will be under attack in just a few days, and we need to run. People were terrified after a recent press photo showed the dire state of the president right now, with some medical experts reporting he is either gone now or will be within 24 hours, and the one that will step into office after will end our existence. Haunting images show what appeared to be heavy foundation covering alleged bruising on his hand, with many pointing out how during the inauguration he just needed a light coverage, but it's now more heavy, leaving many to believe the situation has gotten much more dire. But it gets worse as he and his team are refusing any photos that are taken outside of his office with him behind his desk, with him seemingly attempting to cover his swollen ankles, and these are all potential signs that he does not have much time left.
Alright, it's time to have a serious conversation about President Trump's health. If you look below, he's been photographed with a large bruise on his hand, and the public deserves answers. Doctors online speculate that this is the kind of IV bruise you get when you're on blood thinners, so the public deserves to know, is the president getting transfusions? What is the status of the president's health? In addition to these bruises, we know he has issues with his swollen ankles, and we know he has issues in terms of President Trump meandering and losing thought during conversation, forgetting people's names, forgetting that he appointed Jerome Powell. So I think the public deserves to know. And the reason I can say that is because Republicans for 4 years claimed that Joe Biden was senile, that Joe Biden was not paying attention, that Joe Biden had a body double, that Barack Obama was really the president. So if we could have a discourse for 4 years on whether Joe Biden was fit to be president, but any Democrat who dares to suggest that President Trump has a health issue, we're told that we have TDS. I'm just asking for consistency here. And quite frankly, the president of the United States seems to be ill, and the public deserves to have answers so we can make an adequate decision in 2026 and in 2028. So I'm hoping Republicans will get on board here. Obviously, if they really cared about the country, they wouldn't just be worried about Biden's health, they'd be worried about Trump's as well.
So as you may have seen, Donald Trump is now saying that the real reason he wants to end the war in Ukraine is because he wants to get into heaven, and he thinks that he's on the bottom of the totem pole and he has to do one more good final act before he goes to heaven. Now, I'm not sure if he's spiraling about his current health complications, but let me tell you one thing with certainty. Donald Trump is going to hell. This man has abused women. This man has cheated on women. This man is likely very much incriminated with what Jeffrey E. has done on that little island Trump visited, most likely. And by the way, if Donald Trump goes to heaven, sign me out. I want no part in that, because there is no legitimate heaven if Donald Trump is there eating Big Macs, drinking his Coca-Cola, and talking about how Joe Biden stole the 2020 election. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I want no part in that. But folks, there's a bigger thing at stake here. Donald Trump is once again using Christianity to play with the fears of the American people. He is pretending to be a holier-than-thou Christian to get people to think that he's the Messiah, that he's this Christ-like figure that's going to end wars because he believes in the Bible. Donald Trump is not a real Christian. He is only playing with your emotions. He's playing with your faith to try and get you to continue supporting his failed administration.
I can't believe I'm about to say this sentence, but Trump said something on Fox News this morning that gave me hope. It gave me hope. And I know we need hope badly right now. So hang on with me. So he was talking about how he wants to end the war in Ukraine and how he's ended all these wars. But he wants to end the war in Ukraine because he wants to get into heaven. He wants to get into heaven. He is worried about his mortal soul, about where it's going to go in the afterlife. And it is particularly weird for Donald Trump to say anything about his faith, because he keeps it private after Paula White told him to, because he messes up all the time. He fucks up. He said 2 Corinthians. He held the Bible upside down. Now he's suddenly talking about going to heaven. He wouldn't even tell anyone his favorite Bible verse, but he's concerned about where his soul is going to go. And he kind of played it off as a joke. We learned last month that he was sick and he had that intravenous whatever. He has congestive heart failure. And it's not long for this world. And he knows it.
I see you guys want to put me in trouble now, eh? I really, really see American content trying me very hard. Because I know that you may dislike someone for his behaviors and the treatment and all of that, right? But for you to want him to go? That is extreme, I must say. I would never wish that on anybody. That's me. That's me, and that's what I believe in. I believe that there's a time for everything, and everything that has a beginning definitely has an end. We have a leader over here in my country, Uganda, and that's why I told you guys don't put me in trouble, right? I see quite a number of people that are bypassing in government offices, and a lot of people be in comment sections of such videos, and they'll be like, oh my God, you know, everyone is passing except this man. When you wish that on people, sometimes they don't go. They don't go that quick, even if they have complications like Trump does. And I think it has started becoming more obvious. But definitely when a leader is bad, people can't help it but to wish that he was gone. There are people that are heartless when it comes to that field. You treat us this way, you deserve it too. Yeah? I think I have a bit of grace and mercy. I'm like, okay, you can be bad, can be evil, but the Most High has the best way of dealing with you. And for the psychics and all of that, I don't believe in psychics. I don't. And for those, the people that believe in the Most High, if you're believing some of these things, uh, you're really misled. Even if they might be true, all right. Yeah, but I think it's getting out of hand. I think, I don't know when it has become a norm for people to start celebrating and wanting others to go that quick. But either way, just know that I feel like you really don't even have to wish it on him. Life has a way of dealing with people in ways that you probably don't expect. Vengeance is of the Lord in the scriptures that I believe in. Yeah, so I think vengeance is of the Lord, and I think he should be left to be the judge, the final judge. But I know definitely this man himself, he's actually worried for his life. Let's be real here. Trump himself should be and is clearly worried for his life. All these, signs that we are looking at, dead skin and all of that, literally, I saw one of the clips that I reacted on when he was talking about how Black American women are inviting him to Chicago, and there was just a bit of aura on him that was really, weird. He doesn't look as lively as he was when he was campaigning and doing all of these things. Now, of course, people will be like, he's an old man, and of course we could excuse that and, let it pass. He's old. What do you expect of him, right? But I think he himself has come to awareness that he's not really doing perfectly well, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, from what some experts are saying, it's what he has is not reversible. Like, you can't reverse it. It's come to him in a time like this when he's old and probably can't even fight it that hard. So that's why I say that the Most High has a way of, taking people. And at the end of the day, we are not perfect, yeah? And I think people always have a tendency of saying, oh, by that I'm not trying to, defend him or, no. Because the conditions that he's, subjecting to people, I think it is horrible, and it doesn't even need to really be tolerated, right? But still, the Most High knows how he can take, and you don't know where this came from. None of you pushed this on him, yeah? But for those that are waiting and that are excited, the news is out there and people have a lot to say. Experts have a lot of information to put in here. And I think the nation needs to be alerted to know the condition, because this is a president of the nation. Yeah, people need to know what is going and what's happening. He's a celebrity, that man, yeah. He is. Might not be a celebrity like in a good light, but he still is. My question is though, when he passes, because everybody's been saying that he is actually not the one that is behind the wheel, that Stephen Miller is behind the wheel, and people are anticipating that even if he goes away, that guy who, J.D. Vance, right? People are like, he's even the worst reflection of him. And how are people going to deal with that? Because definitely when he's out of here, definitely someone is going to be stepping in. And I wonder if they will solve the problems that he's put, or the things that he's put America through. Hey, one thing that I remember when I heard some of the things they say, how he's literally stopping all the wars and all of that, he lying. He lying. For you to worry about the fact that you might not even be able to enter heaven, I mean, nobody has the certainty of whether they will be there, because somewhere, somehow we fall short of, the glory. And yeah, we are humans. That's what makes us humans. We make mistakes, we sin, and ask for forgiveness, right? But he literally is thinking that some of the actions he's going to do, he thinks stopping the wars and everything he's doing is going to take him to heaven. when it comes to his personal relationship, if you don't have a personal relationship with the Most High, it doesn't matter how good of a person you are. It doesn't matter how many people you save and all of that. It really does not matter. It doesn't matter how much money you have. And it's so crazy because you can buy everything here on earth. You can have all the money, but when it comes to the other side, the bridge, yeah, you cannot pay anything. So I don't know who told him that the cost of heaven is him stopping the wars, which he clearly is lying about. Imagine wanting to go to heaven, but then you are still like imagine wanting to go to heaven, but then you are lying still about how you're stopping all these wars. Whoever is his advisor, spiritual advisor, they are really not doing a good job. Because I know he's not the type that can be advised and all of that. But I think for people that are anticipating this, it will happen in its own timing, because there's one who has control over the breath, and he has a way of also rewarding according to your performance. So leave the Most High to be the final judge. Even if the man is concerned and everyone is concerned, I don't think when he gets out of office, automatically things are going to change and go back. He's literally done a lot of damage, let's be honest. And probably that's the reason as to why people are like, go, why don't you leave? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section, because for me for today, that's it. I do love all of you and pray for you. God protect you, preserve you, watch over you. And until then, my name is Gracie. Bye.